In the vast expanse of the cosmos, where the darkest secrets lurk between the stars, there exist entities not born to nurture life, but to devour it slowly, mercilessly, and sometimes. The true horror isn't a massive monster charging at you with jagged teeth and a thunderous roar. No. Far scarier is the invisible invader, the one that slips through the air, seeps into your pores, hitchhikes on your every breath, turning your own body into a factory of doom. Enter the pathogen, that inky black liquid, seemingly mindless, yet the seed of every nightmare. Crafted by the engineers, those ancient cosmic gods of the universe, as a tool to reshape life on their whims. But like any power too great for mortal hands, or in this case, godlike ones, the pathogen doesn't just plant new life, it twists existence into a raw, nightmarish fever dream, blurring the line between creation and annihilation until there's nothing left but chaos. Picture this: you're stepping onto a distant planet. Air crisp and fresh. Vegetation lush and inviting, a seeming paradise. But lurking beneath that serene facade is the pathogen. Patiently waiting like a bad blind date that turns out to be a serial killer. It's no raging predator, think of it as the universe's eccentric artist, using DNA as its brush and flesh as its canvas. From this madness emerges a monster, the Neomorph, creation's wild child. A beast that skips the fancy eggs or cozy nests of its later kin. One wrong inhale, one tiny spore drifting in the breeze, and death is sown. Unlike the sleek, engineered xenomorph, the Neomorph is pure randomness, raw, feral, brutal, a primal echo of the pathogen itself, where survival instincts are cranked to 11. Leaving no room for subtlety or strategy. It's like nature's version of a one-night stand gone horribly wrong, impulsive, messy, and utterly unforgiving. To truly grasp the pathogen and its spawn, we must rewind the clock. Delving into the tale of this universe, a saga of godly hubris and the catastrophic fallout that follows. The engineers. Towering figures with pale skin and intellects that dwarf humanity's. Aren't benevolent creators. They're life-tampering overlords, wielding the pathogen as their ultimate gadget. The story goes that millennia ago, on planet LV-223, the engineers plotted a massive invasion of Earth, home to humans. Their children now deemed a glitch worth erasing. The pathogen, codenamed Chemical A03959X.91-15. Was stored in special steatite ampules, primed to rewrite entire ecosystems. But the plan backfired spectacularly when the engineers themselves got exposed, wiping out their invasion force. Only a handful survived, leaving the pathogen, this immortal bioweapon, lingering in silence, biding its time like that forgotten gym membership that suddenly bills you years later. The pathogen isn't your garden variety virus, nor some pesky bacterium, or anything human science could neatly categorize. It's a DNA catalyst, a warped life energy engineered to shatter the biological blueprint of anything it touches. Imagine it as the Prometheus fire that stolen flames symbolizing creation abused into destruction. Much like how Americans turn a simple barbecue into a neighborhood apocalypse with too much lighter fluid. It doesn't just infect, it reprograms genes at the molecular level, ripping apart old DNA strands and stitching them into grotesque new forms, usually deformed and vicious. For the engineers, it was the universe's scalpel, capable of obliterating a species in a blink, then seeding fresh life from the ashes as they saw fit. But that power makes it anything but neutral, it's chaos incarnate. Always slipping free from control. Almost as if it has a mischievous will of its own. Whispering, "You think you're the boss? Cute." Effects vary by dose and exposure method. A small dose, like what hit Charlie Holloway in Prometheus, triggers slow mutation, the body decays from within. Cancer cells accelerating. Yet it sparks temporary healing boosts, fooling the victim into thinking they're superhuman, until the horror unfolds. Holloway swallowed a drop, and within hours, his body morphed, infecting Elizabeth Shaw and birthing the trilobite, a primitive parasite. A larger dose, as with geologist Fifield, sparks rapid mutation, turning victims into abominations, raging monsters stripped of reason, pumped with enhanced strength and resilience to shrug off bullets and flames. Fifield got a face full, transforming in moments into a grotesque freak with ulcerated skin, glowing red eyes, charging his crewmates like a linebacker on steroids. The pathogen can trigger three main outcomes: instant death for incompatible hosts, monstrous rage transformation, or seeding parasites, spawning new life forms like the Neomorph or Deacon. The pathogen's cycle doesn't end there, it evolves constantly, adapting to its surroundings. When it infests an ecosystem, like on Planet 4 in Alien Covenant, it reshapes the landscape entirely. It soaks into soil, plants, and air, forming fungal egg sacs, clusters of black mushrooms that look harmless but brim with motes. Microscopic spores like tiny insects. These motes are the mass spread phase, floating like microdrones. They actively seek host vulnerabilities, nostrils, ears, mouths, to invade. Once in the bloodstream, they inject the pathogen, igniting incubation. Gestation lasts mere hours, not days or weeks like other parasites. The pathogen forces accelerated evolution, compelling host cells to churn out massive energy, forming an embryonic monster. Then, eruption, the embryo bursts from anywhere, back, throat, chest, tearing the host apart in agony. On LV-223, it twisted earthworms into hammerpedes, giant serpents with hyper-regeneration, blooming mouths like deadly flowers, and corrosive acid. Hammerpedes live short but savage lives, assaulting anything that moves, biting to inject venom for further mutations. From simple worms, the pathogen crafts perfect predators, with elastic flesh, 360-degree twists, and bone-crushing strength. When the pathogen encounters humans, evolution amps up the complexity. It spawns the trilobite, a colossal face-hugger. Its cycle involving uterine gestation, as with Shaw, then explosive birth to seek larger hosts for implantation. From the trilobite emerges the Deacon, a xenomorph precursor. Pointed head, dual jaws, but tailless and more organic-skinned. The Deacon embodies a transitional evolution, towering and ferocious, yet lacking later biomechanical finesse. It can alter surroundings, etching acidic veins into mountains, hinting at geological adaptation. Think of the Deacon as a living statue, its pale form looming motionless on a peak, but awakening to charge with force enough to pulverize boulders. Its longer lifespan allows gradual adaptation, sprouting spikes and tougher hide if it survives initial hunts, bridging to more perfected variants, like evolution's awkward teen phase. All growth spurts and bad decisions. But the pathogen's evolutionary peak hits on Planet 4, where David, the creation-obsessed android, unleashes hordes of it, exterminating the engineer populace and turning the world into a living lab. Adapting to local ecology, it births the Neomorph as a fresh variant. This is direct, unmediated pathogen evolution, yielding a wilder, more primal creature. From spore to maturity, the Neomorph evolves in hours, gorging on environment and hosts to balloon in size. It morphs based on host, quadrupedal traits from animals, bipedal height from humans. Evolution persists, rare survivors beyond 24 hours mutate further, like sharper dorsal spikes or boosted speed. Imagine a Neomorph from local fauna. 4 sturdy legs like a hellhound, tearing through jungles at breakneck pace, back spines vibrating with each stride, ready to impale obstacles. Or a human-derived version, tall and bipedal, ghosting through terrain, sprouting climbing claws to claim every nook as hunting ground, like the universe's way of saying, Why settle for one monster when you can customize? From Bloodburster. It evolves to neophyte, adolescent stage. 1.2 to 1.8 meters tall. Slender yet muscling up. Neophytes grow swiftly via carnivory, absorbing nutrients for expansion. Hours later. Maturity, over 2 meters. Bipedal. Spear-like elongated head. Neomorph lifespan, roughly 24 hours, a disposable design for rapid chaos. Death isn't final, corpses decay into fresh fungi. Birthing egg sacs. Looping eternally. Versus xenomorph. Neomorphs a rough draft, wild. Unstable. But faster evolving. Sans elaborate egg facehugger cycles. David later refines Pathogen into protomorph, closer to xenomorph. With winged eggs and fully limbed chest bursters. Probe Neomorph evolution deeper. Via potential variants. In frigid climes. It sprouts insulating fur from animal genes. Becoming white-pelted ambushes in snow. Deserts thicken skin. Siphoning victim moisture to extend life days. Bird hosts birth membranous wings. Aerial attackers diving at speeds defying physics. Evolution hits in neophyte phase, devouring assimilates DNA. Restructuring instantly, an extra arm. Auxiliary eyes. Elongated tail. Compared to David's protomorph. Neomorph lacks consistency but excels in versatility. Conquering planets sans prolonged tests, like a startup monster. All pivot and no plan. Elaborate this build. Translucent skin isn't cosmetic, it enables faint photosynthesis in dim light. Fueling dark environs. Spearhead packs dense vibration sensors. Detecting footsteps 50 meters out. A living radar. Sealed mouth conserves moisture. But expands 180 degrees for oversized prey. Tail spines carry paralytic toxin. A whip stunning before dismemberment. Dorsal spikes vibrate for eerie sounds. Luring or intimidating. Yellow blood. Though weak acid. Sprays as weapon. Forming corrosive puddles to block pursuers. Elastic muscles permit 3-meter leaps. Spider-like climbing. Making neomorphs all-terrain terrors, like a Swiss Army knife. If the knife hated you personally. Recall the gut-wrenching scene in Alien, Covenant, a mature neomorph. Hours old yet adult-sized. Lurking in pathogen twisted wheat fields gloom. No prolonged stalking, a twitch from victims triggers its spiny tail lashing like a whip. Ripping Encore's face in a split-second spray of blood. An abstract horror painting. Unpausing. It lunges at Rosenthal. Gaping mouth severing her head in one chomp. Silver teeth pulverizing skull-like tissue. Unlike xenomorphs or kin. Neomorphs skip cocooning for implantation, they devour on sight. Gulping chunks to fuel rapid growth. Yet power has flaws, and these underscore the neomorph's primal essence in Pathogen's evolutionary chain. Low intellect. Pure instinct driven. Makes it gullible to simple tricks like decoy noises or bait. This rawness invites inevitable comparison, neomorph versus xenomorph. Pathogen offspring representing divergent evolutionary phases. Envision the neomorph as a mad artist's rough sketch, fleeting 24-hour lifespan. Fully organic with pallid skin and mild yellow acid. Combat via uncontrolled beast rage. No intricate cycles, spores. Invasion. Burst suffice for havoc. Contrast the xenomorph, refined masterpiece. Edited by David's creation fixation. Blending neomorph genes with engineered DNA and pathogen tweaks. Biomech build, ebony sheen like organic metal. Potent acid blood hull melting. Aero-like inner jaw, crafts calculated destroyers. Not just killers but ecosystem dominators. The pathogen and neomorph. In all their horror. Serve as the ultimate caution, the cosmos doesn't forgive blind meddling in life's flow. We star wanderers. Dare we breathe deeply in alien air? Or forever vigil against invisible dust turning our bodies into monster cradles? Ponder it. For each inhale might kick off a fresh nightmare chapter, and maybe You're the star of the next horror tale.
Thank you.